guys, it's Dave from Horizon Fish Keeping. I'm just going to do a bit of a fish room update on what's been going on for the last couple of weeks. As many of you who are subscribed will know, we've got the controversial tank, and that one's sort of a bit, some of the purists don't like it, but it's working for me and I've had no issues whatsoever. So the tank that we're talking about is the I think it's 550 litre or 540 litre mixed tank, and by mixed I mean I've got African cichlids in there, Abunas. I've also got two quite big Oscars, and I did have some sharks, some bala sharks in there. What we've done is we've took out the sharks out of the equation. I actually got the fish from a friend of mine who was, well, his tank sort of broke, and he had to get a smaller aquarium, so I ended up with 5 quite big bala sharks. I know there are schooling fish. 4 of them have gone to a friend of mine, so I've actually only got 1 at the moment, just because his tank's not big enough to take all 5, which is a shame. But he is getting a custom-made aquarium built, so the fish shark will be going to his house at some point. So that's just a bit of an update on the big tank, just in case you see it on any of my videos and think, where's the sharks gone, have they died or whatever, you know. It's not like that. The 4 of the sharks went to a friend, and I've just got the 1 big shark that we named Bruce after finding Nemo, so he's still in the tank with all the rest. So in the tank now we've got the Mbunas, the 2 Oscars, Ghost and Phantom, and 1 bala shark named Bruce. We've also got about I think there's 10 bristlenose plecos in there. They just spawned in there, so they're there. And we've got Siamese alligator, flying fox, sorry. He's just been popped in there because he were too big for my other tanks. But they all get along fine. There's no aggression or up like that. The base of this video is just to give you a bit of an update on that tank, and also my breeding progress with my German blue rams. I've been struggling with them, so if you guys have got any information on how to breed these fish, then just let me know. I will show you the tanks in this video as well, just to let you know how they're getting on. None of the eggs have been viable, and I'm struggling currently to get them to spawn at all. I've been doing big water changes. I've tried changing the food. I've been feeding them like crazy, so they've been having bloodworms, high protein pellets, all that kind of thing. So if any of you guys in the know are more experienced than I am, if you could just let me know on any sort of ways that you've had them, to get them to spawn. I've tried changing all the decor around and all that sort of stuff, so nothing's working, or it seems to be not working. But in this video I'm going to show you some of the breeding tanks that I've got set up, and also just have a look around at the other tanks. This aquarium's now partly empty. This is my 150 litre planted aquarium. I've had this running for about 2 years. It's currently a no filter tank as well. I took the canister off this tank and popped it on my big tank, just because there was so much debris, because I have to feed the tank really heavy to make sure all the fish get something to eat. So this tank's a no filter aquarium at the moment. It's doing really well. I've noticed since I took the filter off, I'm getting a bit of hair algae in there, but I've put a wave maker in to move the water around, and I've also got an air stone just going in the back. But I think there's about 70 different varieties of plants in there. There's cryptocorns, there's all sorts in there. We'll have a look at that tank. Also, the 2 smaller tanks that I used to have now gone to my missus. She's decided to join in the hobby now, so at least I've got 1 person to join. That's always a good thing. And she's got 1 little tank. I think it's about 19 litres. That's got an African dwarf frog in it. And then she's got another one that's about 24 litres with a betta fish and some corridoras in. So we'll have a look at all the tanks anyway in a second, and hopefully you guys will stick around. So as you can see, guys, this is my 550 litre aquarium. This is my controversial tank. As you can see, the sharks have now gone. I'm sorry about the lighting as well. The lighting is not great, so it might be flickering on and off a little bit. So I've got 2 Oscars there, Ghost and Phantom. I'll try and get you in a bit closer in a second. But what I'll do is, in fact, I'll just take you off the stand and we'll just check. So as you can see, guys, this is my 550 litre aquarium. So we've just got Ghost there. He's an Oscar fish, and there's Phantom. These guys are really personable. They're absolutely awesome. You can see they're no trouble. Before I got these fish, I was hearing they were quite bad fish to have. They were, not great to keep, and they were quite vicious and whatever else people say online. It's just one of them things. Just got a plastic plant in the background, loads of pebbles and stuff. This is mainly for mboonas to hide in. You can just see there, I've got, I think it's an OB. If you guys can identify this fish, then let me know, because all I know is I think it's an OB cichlid. I'm not 100%. Then we've got loads of mixed mboonas here, Demasonite at the back, yellowtailed ACI. These guys are zebras. But yeah, they're pretty cool fish. They're the main fish in the tank. You can just see Bruce there, the lone shark. He's looking a bit sorry for himself because he's on his own now and his gang's not with him. But yeah, they're all looking really good. Obviously Bruce has got a few scales missing and stuff and whatever. He was pretty battered up when I got him, so he's just getting fixed up at the moment. But this guy's pretty awesome, and they all play nice together. So people say the water parameters should be different, so we should be at 8 with these guys and 6.5 with these guys. But some of these fish are all of these fish are bred in my water by a local fish keeper, so they're all around 7 pH. I keep this tank about 6.8. So it's just in between what the South Americans should be and the cichlids that were, they were spawned here near me. So it's a pretty basic scape. I mean, these guys like to move it around anyway, the Oscars. The only Anubias that survived. I did have this tank planted out, but the Oscars didn't like that and they decided to chew most of it up or just move it around. And the mboonas just like to eat plants anyway. So this is the first of 9 tanks that I'm going to show you today, and it's going really well. I've had this running for about 6 months now, and these guys are happy. So the African cichlids like to chase each other around a little bit, but there's no sort of aggravation from the South American to the you can see these guys are right next to each other and they're not even bothered. They just don't bother each other. So you can see Bruce there, he just likes to float about and have a bit of a swim about and stuff, no problems. So I'll move on to the next tank. So you guys might have seen this tank and it were absolutely full of guppies. I do breed fish, as most of you know who are subscribed. So this tank's 150 litres, fully planted obviously. And there's all different species of plants in there. We've got the one molly, Polly the molly. I've had her for about 3 years now. She's getting a bit old now, and she's lost a lot of weight recently, and I was sort of thinking it might be a time sort of thing, but I've been trying to feed her up a bit, but she's not that bothered. She just plods around. We've got 2 random cardinal tetras. These guys were hiding when we moved the fish, and they've just stayed in there since, so they've been in there for quite some time. There's probably about 20 corridores, pandas in this as well. You see one of the little guys there behind Polly, just on the floor. Sorry for the focus. And there's about 4 juvenile bristlenose plecos as well. These guys like to just try and keep the tank clean. But yeah, this one's my first aquarium as well. This is currently no filter. I've got a heater, an air stone, and a wave maker in there, and obviously an LED light. So this one does really well. I don't really have to do anything to it. We just water change it every now and again, and I don't water change this tank hardly as much as the others. The big African cichlid tank, I water change that every week, and I do like an 80% water change because them guys are messy. Moving on. So this is the wife's tanks now. There's 2 of them. This one's got a dwarf frog in there somewhere, an albino. This guy likes to hide a lot, so it's probably under the rocks somewhere, but I can't actually see it at the moment. She's ripped it apart. She's going to rescape it at some point, so she just left a few plants and a little bit of a hiding cave there just for the frog if he wants to hide away. And then this is the second one she's got. I do have mops in there at the moment because I've got some corridores, panda corridores breeding. But this is a better fish, and he is absolutely stunning. This guy stood out from the rest when we went to buy it in the shop about 3 weeks ago. I can't remember what she's called it now, but she's got a name for it. But it's beautiful, really nice colours. He's got that sort of coy vibe to him. He doesn't do him justice on camera. He's got a lot of blue and stuff going on as well. He's got sort of funky eyes as well. You can't really see on camera, but she's got the better fish and a few corridors just to keep the substrate clean at the bottom as well. The pandas, which are breeding at the moment, hence the spawning mops. If you do want to see how to breed these panda corridors, then just look back in my videos. And also, aside of that, we just have the brine shrimp hatcher, which we do every day. Again, if you want to see any videos on this, it's the Zist Aqua 2 litre brine shrimp hatcher. You might have seen this on, Aquarium Corp with Corey and Dean. They use this hatcher as well. Quite difficult to find in the UK, but my partner managed to get me one from wherever, and she gave me for my birthday, which I was using a plastic bottle before. And I do have a video if you're not willing to fork out the money, because Zist Aqua is quite expensive for what it is. So if you wanted to make like a really cheap budget brine shrimp hatcher, then there's a video on my channel if you want to look back and look at that. I'll move you on to my breeding projects now in the other room. You will have to excuse the mess on these ones, because these are solely for breeding. And breeding fish love dirty tanks, unfortunately, and this is what we've got. So I was saying before about the panda corridors, so we've got some fry in there. You can just see them darting around. I am going to make a video on these as well, so it was quite successful the last time I did it. The snail's actually in the tank, not in the breeding box with the eggs are out. And I've just been feeding these guys on the carry first bites to get them going, and also the brine shrimp. It looks quite dirty in the tanks. I haven't cleaned it out this morning yet, but I clean it out every day. And this is just in a fluval breeder box. You guys have probably seen these. I've just dropped an air stone in as well to get some circulation, because the corridors love the flow as well. So this breeder box is just hung on the edge of the tank there, and it's got a continuous water supply which comes from the main tank behind, circulates through, and then just goes down the cascade at the back there. So that's just the what I raise my fry up in till I get them into a good size where they can go into a tank. There's a bit of an exciting bit of this video as well, just to add to the update. You can just see behind we've got a 210 litre, I think it's a fluval tank, this one. Yeah, fluval. And this one's just rough aquascaped. You'll have to ignore all my bits and bobs down there, because I'm constantly moving around with these guys. There's loads of algae on the back of this tank. We've got about, I think there's 2 dwarf neon rainbows in here. There's some German blue rams in here, and also normal rams, and some guppies that just got missed when the supply went to the fish store the other day when I was selling to the wholesalers. Some of them, you just, because it's so planted in there, it's difficult to get them all out, but I'll just use them for the next generation that are going to go to the wholesalers. You can just see there's one guppy and a dwarf neon playing together, and somewhere else in there there's another one just there. These guys are all over the place. These guys were tiny little fry when I sold them. Just one of the normal rams there. Coming to the front, looks like a female. And then there's German blue just darting across here. These are the guys that we're wanting to breed. So there's a male and female in this tank. Hopefully they'll spawn, maybe not, I don't know. But we'll just keep an eye on these guys and see how they're getting on. Just below that, this is just a fry hatching tray. I usually have a heater and an air stone in there, and I use that for eggs mainly. You're going to have to excuse the mess in some of the tanks today because I didn't actually clean them up. And then underneath there I've just got 3 breeding tanks, and these have just got German blues in. These are the guys that I'm going to try and breed. There's one just here, look. I think that's the female, and the male will be somewhere in there as well. So I'm keeping these guys about 82. Like I said, I've moved the decor around, I've tried doing all sorts. These guys are bickering a little bit at the moment. That's the female there, and they're obviously chasing the male around. Trying to get them guys to pair off a little bit. This one's just got normal rams in. This one's the sterile tank. I usually use this one for the quarantine tank as well, so it gets meds quite a bit, this tank. That's why it looks quite sterile. But I've got a breeding pair in there as well. They're just hiding up at the back, one at the bottom, one at the top. Again, no fryers yet. And then this one's got the surprise in, so we've just got some guppies at the top there. And inside the cave we have the new member of the fish room. Is a ghost knife fish. Still not got a name for him yet, but I'm going to grow him up in this one a little bit and get him to a good size, and then he'll be joining the Oscars in the controversial tank when he gets to a size where the Oscars aren't going to sort of eat him. So hopefully you guys will see this on some new videos coming up. He's just inside the cave. I'm not sure I'll be able to get a good shot of him, but we'll see if I can. No, he likes to hide in the cave all day, and then usually it comes out for his bloodworms on the night. But that guy's awesome. So I'll just move on to the last tank. So this is the last tank in the fish room, and this has got a breeding pair of German blue rams, and a breeding ram and electric blue. This one were a bit of an experiment to see if a male and female breed. I know they're the same fish, but I'm wondering if the attractant was still there for the different colour morphs, or do they have to be with the same colour? It's a bit of an experiment, this one. And as you can see, this one's absolutely bombed with snails. I've got some Ramshorn snails, and I also have Malaysian trumpet snails in here. This is my supply of snails for the rest of my aquariums. And also we have some guppies that have homebred again, and these guys will probably be the start of the next set of guppies that I send to the wholesalers. So they've got the sort of Endler colours going on with them, and these were koi guppies bred with just a blacktail female. But that one's pretty awesome too. So hopefully you guys have stuck around to this part of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you guys have got any suggestions on what we could do next in the video, maybe some fish store tours, or if you'd like to see more of the ghost knife or the bigger tank, or maybe just some aquascaping videos, I'm open to sort of any suggestions at this time. If you guys have stuck around to this part of the video, if you could just do me a big favour, leave a comment, press the like button, and also if you're not subscribed, just give us a click on the subscribe button. It really helps me out, it makes me want to make more videos, and ultimately it's just something else for me to do as well, as a bit of a hobby. I do enjoy making the videos, so if you guys could do that for me, that'd be awesome. Until then, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.